Hello guys and welcome to Lombok. We are going on a 4-day boat tour to the Komodo Islands and I am super excited. I have literally been looking forward to this part of the trip the most ever since booking it about a month ago, because they do sell out, especially if you want to get a private room and not be spooning everyone on one in the same deck. Then you definitely need to book in advance, especially in the high season, maybe even up to 2 months, because that is how amazing this tour is meant to be. Yesterday we got a shuttle ferry combo, which I will link in the description below, to get from Canggu, Bali to Lombok, and then I threw up all over myself in the grab once we got on Lombok, which was not pretty. I projectile vomited all over the car. And all over myself. Then we spent the night at Inda homestay, where I just spent the whole day pretty much sick in bed, and I was so scared that I wouldn't be feeling well today and just not be able to enjoy this part of the trip. But I seem to be fine today, and now we've been picked up at the hostel or the homestay and brought back to the ferry port, or the big port, from where we will be leaving after getting all the information about the next few days. First off, we'll be driving for about 3 to 3.5 hours to the other side of the island, from where we will board the boat, and then it all starts. I am so excited. Hopefully we'll see a whale shark. I've been wanting to see one for so long. Also manta rays has been on my list, like so high on my list of just marine animals I want to see. We will obviously see Komodo Dragons, amazing landscapes, see the national park, and just be on a boat. We're just excited to be on a boat again, because obviously I am now together with a skipper, and yeah, just being on a boat together again is going to be so much fun. So let's get going.
After waiting around for a while, we finally got the show on the road. We saw lots of monkeys along the way, and we got a lunchbox as we stopped at a convenience store. Eventually, around 3 p.m, we reached the harbor on the other side of the island. The others had to put their bags in the hold of the boat, but we could leave everything in our room.
Alright guys, we are now on our way. I hope you can hear me. And this is our bedroom for the next few days. We also have an AC, which I did not expect. We do have a fan as well, but we are right next to the motor, I guess. There is a toilet right next to here as well, which I think everyone is using. And then I've already seen an outdoor shower as well.
We were so excited when we were finally on a moving boat. We made fun of the head sail a little bit as we made our way to the first stop of the trip, a tiny island to the east of Lombok, from where we would see the sunset. It became clear to us as we climbed up the hill that this would be the windiest sunset of our lives. We had to wait quite a while for the sun to set, with the sand blowing in our eyes. It was very unpleasant. We eventually did see the sunset next to the volcanoes of Lombok, which was really pretty. We ended the first day with a good dinner.
On our second day on the boat, we were woken up like right before 6 a.m. at sunrise, because we were going to see the whale sharks. Instead, it was just a big fishing boat feeding, or trying to feed, the whale sharks. And then all the people in all the boats got together right in front of this fishing boat, with not even any space for this enormous, literally the biggest fish in the world, to get in between us or anything. It didn't make sense to me, and I'm glad that we didn't end up seeing them, because it was unethical, and I just got nervous even being in the water myself. They were throwing lots of shrimp as well, and it just wasn't really a great experience. We did, however, get to see a few cool jellyfish. Then we got back on board, sailed for another 4 hours, and then it was time to just jump off the boat for a few times, and then we got back to sailing for another 16 to 18 hours.
We had lunch after all the jumping and set sail for the rest of the day and night. Each time we heard the motor slow down, we would check what the crew had caught, and we had another nice dinner to end day 2.
So if you ask me, the first 2 days pretty much can be missed, and if you want to make the most of your time, I would say do the 3-day tour just from Komodo, and yeah, just skip the whole 2 first days, because they have haven't really added anything yet. Today we are doing the main site, so Komodo National Park, the Pink Beach and Padar Island. And yeah, I believe it's time to go because I see people leaving the boat.
Komodo National Park is home to the only Komodo dragons in the world. When visiting the island, a local guide will keep you safe because a bite of these dragons will introduce deadly bacteria into your bloodstream. It's what gives these dragons their reputation of being dangerous killers. However, this island was also home to wild boar and deer, so we felt pretty safe, thinking that they would be an easier prey than us.
Ended up seeing quite a few Komodo dragons, and now we have made it to Pink Beach. We have made it to the beautiful Pink Beach, and I'm so glad we get to spend 2 hours here. I think this might be one of my highlights unexpectedly. I thought it would just be an aesthetically pleasing beach, which was mostly just edited, like color graded to look even more pink than it really is. So I didn't expect much of it, but after arriving here, we grabbed our snorkels and we went off for a little explore underwater as well. And aside from the contrast between the pink and the blue, the pink is created by some red corals in the area, by the way. But aside from that, also just in the water, there's so much coral, anemones full of clownfish, parrotfish. I saw 2 moray eels as well. Yeah, it's just so full of life, which I somehow didn't expect. So that is a very pleasant surprise. And the beach is entirely full of like little pieces of coral as well. It is stunning.
We got back on the boat around 1 p.m. for lunch and had a siesta on the way to Padar Island. We all got transferred to the island and started the hike up, where we found a nice spot to watch the sunset from. It was unbelievably beautiful.
Last night we watched the sunset from the iconic viewpoint over Padar Island, which was absolutely breathtaking. It is such an incredibly beautiful landscape with 3 beaches that seem to have different colors of sand. It was really impressive. Other than that, in the evening, apparently there was a beach party, but we kind of missed the boat on that one. So we just had a beer on the rooftop watching the stars, there was a lot of stars out. Unfortunately, there won't be any mantas on this trip, neither have we seen the whale sharks. And today we are going to another beach. We have had breakfast. Apparently there are baby sharks on the beach, so let's go and have a look for them. And then after that we'll have about an hour and a half here, then another sail, and then another snorkel stop. As you can tell from my nose, I've gotten a cold and I'm so terrified that I won't be able to dive once we get to Labuan Bajo. If we don't, because I really want to see the manta ray, I'll probably cry.
But no need to cry yet, because we still had 1 day left to enjoy. We were in for some more unforgettable snorkeling, starting with the baby sharks that we were promised. Aside from the baby sharks, there was so much more to see. We saw 3 blue-spotted stingrays, and the reef here was teeming with life. We saw a lot of cool fish like clownfish, the most dangerous fish in the world, the scorpion fish, a whole lot of different surgeonfish and angelfish, these small shrimp digging holes, parrotfish getting cleaned at the fish spa, and so much more. We got back on the boat, and after a short sail, we got to our second and final stop of the day. Here they often spot turtles, but unfortunately we didn't. Here's what we did see. We got our final lunch when getting out of the water and set sail to the Labuan Bajo harbor, where we all got a water taxi into town, which wasn't very fast. Alright, my final thoughts on the Komodo tour. We did the 4-day tour from Lombok to Flores, which I wouldn't do again. If I would do it again, I would simply do the 3-day tour starting from Flores itself, from Labuan Bajo, because the first 2 days were pretty much wasted. It was a lot of time on the boat, which we did enjoy, but I don't know, it didn't really add anything, and the whole whale shark experience was just really unethical and not enjoyable at all. Luckily we didn't see them, but if they had shown up, I'm just scared of what would have been the situation. We went with the company called Leong to explore, and a lot of the things that we were expecting didn't happen. No mantas, there was no stop at Manta Point, they gave an excuse for that, and also no flying foxes, which I did believe that there would be a stop included to see the flying foxes come out at sunset. Also didn't see that. So in general, it was only really the snorkel stops in Komodo that we really enjoyed the most. Just Komodo National Park in general was definitely our favorite. And then we are going diving to see some more of the underwater worlds in the next video, and hopefully seeing some manta ray. So definitely subscribe if you want to see that video and see some more of Komodo National Park underwater. When it came to the organization, I would say go with Karim, which is the more popular one, or maybe Wanua, because the company that we chose, we just weren't very pleased with. The guy in charge, his English was pretty bad, just his communication in general, letting us know what was happening when it was happening, just was not on point at all. The food was okay, but it was always just enough or just not enough. So often people just wouldn't have had any food, or not enough, or yeah, it was barely enough. Also, the boat itself didn't have any music equipment, like any boxes. Luckily, some of the people joining the tour had a music box, but other than that, they don't really have any sound system or anything, which if you're on a boat for 4 days, I feel like, especially with young people, with backpackers, it's kind of like should be a given, or at least some kind of entertainment if you're gonna have to spend that many hours on the boat. So obviously we were staying in a private, which gave us a private plug, also the AC, which we couldn't turn on because it was a shared AC between 2 rooms and the other room didn't want it on. So we were very sweaty all the time anyways, because there is no ventilation as well. If you close the door, that's it, you're just locked up in a box. Whereas on top does have a lot better ventilation because it's open. We were located right next to the toilet, and luckily we didn't smell it or anything. It didn't really
bother us at all. There are only 2 toilets on board, and when it came to showering, there was really only one proper shower that was outside, and then there were 2 bum guns that were kind of expected to be used as a shower or to rinse off. Shower wise, we didn't really shower for 4 days. Other boats, they had somewhat of a shower on the back of the boat, or at least 2, so people were properly showering on there, but our boat was kind of, yeah, I don't know, people were just showering in their bikinis or whatever. Anyway, I believe that is everything you need to know about the Komodo tour. We are a bit disappointed by what it was, but it is what it is. We tried to enjoy the good parts as much as we could, and next up we are going diving. So I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!